What if I told you that your penis can get significantly harder in just 3 minutes, using nothing more than the way you breathe and the way you stand? No pills, no gimmicks, no complicated exercises, just 2 techniques any man can do, starting today, that can reactivate blood flow, boost natural testosterone, and calm the mind enough to unlock real intimacy again. This isn't hype, it's science. And I'm going to show you exactly how it works. My name is Dr. Mohit Kara. I'm a board-certified urologist with over 30 years of experience treating men just like you, men in their 60s, 70s, and beyond, who thought they had to accept decline as their new normal. I've helped thousands rediscover their strength, confidence, and connection without relying on medication. And what I'm about to share may be the simplest yet most effective approach I've ever used. Here's the paradox. The real cause of your weaker erections isn't aging. It isn't even low testosterone. It's something far more subtle and fixable. You've been focusing on the wrong problem. In the next few minutes, I'll teach you 2 powerful, scientifically proven techniques that can improve your erection quality in less time than it takes to make coffee, naturally, safely, and effectively. And stay with me, because near the end, I'll reveal a common habit most older men do every morning that's quietly draining your testosterone and ruining your performance without you even knowing it. Before we begin, if you're new here, I encourage you to subscribe and turn on notifications. That way, you'll never miss another simple, science-backed tip designed specifically to help men like you stay strong, confident, and healthy at any age. And after watching, if you found this valuable, type 1 in the comments. If not, type 0 and let me know how I can improve this content to better serve you. Let's begin with the first technique, and it starts with something you do every single day, often without thinking. Your breathing. What most men don't realize is that the way you breathe can either shut down your sexual performance or switch it back on within minutes. This first method is called the 4-2-6 breathing technique, and it's one of the fastest, most powerful ways to calm anxiety, improve circulation, and restore stronger, more reliable erections, naturally. Let me show you exactly how it works. 1. The 4-2-6 breathing technique. I'll be honest with you. Years ago, I had a patient in his 70s, let's call him George. He came into my office looking defeated. His labs were fine, his heart was strong, but when it came to intimacy, he just couldn't perform. Not consistently, and no medication seemed to fix it. He was frustrated, embarrassed, and convinced his body had given up on him. But after just 1 session learning this simple breathing technique, something changed. Not because he forced it, but because he finally let go of the tension that had been silently sabotaging him for years. What George, and so many other men, don't realize is that anxiety is one of the biggest roadblocks to a healthy erection. When your body senses even a little stress, your breathing becomes shallow, your heart rate rises, your brain interprets it as danger, and instead of sending blood to your pelvis, your body sends it to your arms and legs because it thinks you need to run or fight. That response might have kept you alive on the battlefield, but it's a disaster in the bedroom. The 4-2-6 breathing technique is a way to take back control. Inhale gently through your nose for 4 seconds. Hold your breath for 2. Then exhale slowly through your mouth for 6. Repeat that cycle for just 2 minutes. What this does is tell your nervous system, you're safe. It lowers adrenaline, it slows your heart rate, and it redirects blood back to the areas that matter, so your body can respond the way it's meant to. I've had patients feel the difference in under 3 minutes, more grounded, more confident, and yes, noticeably firmer. It's such a small act, breathing, but when done with intention, it can completely shift how your body performs under pressure. George didn't need another prescription, he just needed to breathe the right way. And now, let me show you something that might surprise you even more. What if I told you that simply changing the way you stand, just your posture, can actually boost your testosterone in under 2 minutes? Let's talk about that next. 2. The power pose. I remember working with a retired firefighter named Bill, 72 years old, still strong in his build but quietly carrying the weight of lost confidence. He told me he felt invisible, not just in public, but in his own bedroom. His energy wasn't the same. He wasn't connecting with his wife the way he used to, and deep down, he feared he was no longer the man she had fallen in love with. We talked for a while, and then I asked him something unusual. I said, "Bill, stand up. Hands on your hips, feet shoulder-width apart, chest open, head high, hold it for 2 minutes." He gave me a funny look but did it, and something shifted, not just in his stance, but in his expression. He smiled, then laughed. I could see it in his eyes. He felt different, taller, stronger, more himself. That's the power of posture. It's not just about how you look, it's about how your body talks to your brain. When you stand like a man who's in control, your body starts to believe it. Research shows that standing in a confident position for just 2 minutes can raise your testosterone and lower cortisol, the stress hormone that often blocks your natural drive. It's simple physiology. Your body aligns, your hormones respond, and your mind follows. It sounds too easy, I know, but I've seen it work too many times to ignore. When Bill made it a habit, every morning and before moments of intimacy, his energy returned, his confidence came back. Not because of a pill or a supplement, but because he started standing like he believed he deserved to be whole again. And here's what makes it even more powerful. When you combine this posture shift with the right kind of breath, the technique you just learned, the results multiply. But the real secret to lasting change isn't just in what you do, it's in how often you do it. And that's what we're going to explore next. 3. Why these two work together. There's something deeply powerful about seeing an older man reconnect with his body, something he thought had betrayed him long ago. I remember a patient named Harold, 68, who came to me after years of quiet frustration. He'd tried medications, supplements, even devices, none of which gave him the reliability or confidence he longed for. What struck me most was how defeated he sounded when he said, "I just want to feel like myself again." I taught him the breathing and posture techniques, not expecting instant magic, but knowing what was possible when they're combined. 2 weeks later, he returned with a different tone. He said, "Doc, I can't believe something so simple made me feel this in control again." And that's exactly it. When you breathe with intention, your nervous system calms. Blood flows where it should. When you stand in the power pose, your hormones align. Your body listens. But when you do both together, at the same time, you send a powerful message to your brain. I am safe, I am capable, and I am ready. This combination isn't just mechanical, it's emotional. It brings you into your body and silences the noise that so often blocks performance. You stop overthinking. You stop chasing results. You simply allow your body to respond as it was designed to. That shift can feel almost miraculous, but it's not. It's biology, working in your favor when you step out of stress and into alignment. That's what Harold felt. That's what so many men feel when they make this a daily practice, not just a last-minute fix, but a part of how they live. But here's the key most men overlook. This isn't a one-time trick, it's a habit. And when you practice it daily, something changes not just in your body, but in your identity. So let's talk now about what happens when you make these two techniques part of your routine. The results go far beyond the bedroom. 4. The key is repetition. I had a man once tell me, "Doc, I did the breathing and the standing pose like you said, and it actually worked, but then I stopped, and just like that, everything faded again." His name was Leonard, 74, proud, stubborn, a retired Marine who believed in discipline, yet like many men, he had hoped for a quick fix. But here's the truth I told him. Real change never comes from one moment. It comes from repetition. And once Leonard understood that, everything shifted. You see, the human body is built on patterns. What we repeat becomes who we are. And just like muscles grow with regular training, your nervous system, your hormones, and your circulation all respond best when the message is consistent. The breathing technique calms your mind and brings blood flow to where it's needed most. The power pose tells your brain you are in control, but if you only use them when things go wrong, you're missing the true power they hold. Because when these two practices become daily rituals, they begin to rewire your internal systems. You no longer have to try to perform. Your body already knows how to respond. Leonard started doing both every morning before his walk and again at night before bed. Nothing dramatic, just 4 minutes a day. A month later, he walked into my office and shook my hand with a different kind of grip. "It's not just the erections, Doc," he said. "It's how I feel about myself again." That's the difference consistency makes. It's not about perfection, it's about presence. The more you show up for your body, the more your body shows up for you. Confidence isn't built in the moment you need it most. It's built in the quiet minutes you invest when no one's watching. And what happens next is even more interesting. Because when you begin practicing these techniques daily, you'll start noticing the small habits in your life that are quietly working against you. There's one in particular I see all the time, something most older men do every single morning without realizing it's lowering their testosterone and draining their energy before the day even starts. Let's talk about that now. 5. What most men do wrong and why you should stop. There's something I see over and over again that breaks my heart, not because men are failing, but because they're being misled. I remember sitting with a patient named Frank, 69, a retired teacher. He had such a thoughtful, gentle presence, but he spoke with this quiet frustration. "Doc," he said, "I'm doing everything I'm told. I've got the blue pill, I'm taking my cholesterol meds, I even tried a testosterone shot, but I still don't feel right. I'm not who I used to be." When I asked him about his daily routine, I noticed something immediately. He'd been relying entirely on medication. No breathing, no posture, no body-based practices, just pills and hope. And here's what I told him, gently but firmly: the problem isn't your effort. The problem is that you're trying to solve a whole body issue with a one-size-fits-all shortcut. Medications like Viagra, or even antidepressants, aren't built to address the real source of the issue, which, in many cases, is anxiety, poor circulation, or nervous system imbalance. Worse, drugs like SSRIs and anti-anxiety pills can dull your nervous system so much that even when your mind wants intimacy, your body doesn't respond. They lower dopamine, reduce sensitivity, and over time can make your body dependent on them just to feel normal. That's not healing, that's masking. What men like Frank, and maybe even you, need is to return to your body, not escape it. You need to regain the natural rhythm of breath and posture, not suppress your system with chemicals. The truth is, when men give their bodies the right signals, daily, consistently, the results are often better than what any prescription can offer. That doesn't mean medicine is always wrong, but it should be the backup plan, not the foundation. And once Frank understood that, once he started practicing those daily techniques, he felt more in control. He told me something I'll never forget. "I finally feel like my body is mine again." But there's one more thing you need to know, something that catches most older men off guard. It's a single habit almost everyone does each morning without thinking, but it quietly lowers your testosterone and increases your stress before your day even begins. Let me show you what it is and what to do instead. 6. Bonus: one hidden morning habit that lowers testosterone. There's a small habit I see in nearly every man I work with, something so routine, so ordinary that it rarely gets questioned. Yet it silently drains your energy, raises your stress levels, and lowers your testosterone before your day even starts. I remember a conversation with Jim, a 66-year-old retired contractor with a quiet sense of humor and hands that looked like they'd built half the town. He was frustrated with his lack of morning energy, especially in the bedroom. "Doc," he told me, "I wake up, check my phone like everyone else, have some coffee, and go about my day. But I feel drained before noon." That phrase stuck with me. I feel drained before noon. So I asked him one question. What's the first thing you see when you open your eyes? His answer was immediate. My phone, emails, the news, sometimes social media. And there it was. You see, the moment you check your phone first thing in the morning, especially reading emails, scrolling headlines, or glancing at messages, you send a signal to your brain that says, be alert, be tense, be ready for trouble. Cortisol rises. Your nervous system shifts into stress mode, and when cortisol goes up, testosterone goes down. It's that simple. Over time, this constant morning surge of digital stress rewires your hormones, dulls your drive, and leaves you more anxious, less connected, and physically depleted. I told Jim to try something different for just 1 week, no phone for the first 30 minutes. Instead, I asked him to get out of bed, drink a glass of water, stand in the power pose, and follow it with 2 minutes of 4-2-6 breathing. That's it, just that small shift. 1 week later, he came back with a smile and said, "It's weird. I feel more awake, more calm, and more like myself. My mornings don't run me anymore." That's the difference a single habit can make. Your body thrives on rhythm and intention, and when you start your day grounded instead of overstimulated, everything from your hormones to your confidence begins to change. But now, let's put it all together, because learning these techniques is just the beginning. The real transformation happens when they become part of who you are. Let me show you how to build your daily action plan, one that actually lasts. Final thoughts and action plan. As we come to the end of this conversation, I want to speak to you man to man, not just as a doctor, but as someone who's walked alongside thousands of men who felt just like you may feel now, frustrated, uncertain, maybe even disconnected from the man they used to be. If nothing else stays with you from what I've shared today, let it be this: you are not broken, and it's not too late. Your body is still capable. Your mind is still strong, and with just a few minutes a day, you can begin to reclaim parts of yourself that you thought were gone forever. That spark, that confidence, that quiet strength, it never left you. It's just been buried under layers of stress, poor habits, and false beliefs about aging. The truth is, you don't need to reinvent your life. You don't need a cabinet full of pills or a list of complicated routines. What you need is consistency. Just a few minutes of deliberate breathing, a change in how you carry yourself, a decision not to let a screen dictate how your day begins. These simple practices, done daily, can create profound shifts in your hormones, your circulation, your mood, and your ability to connect. Not only sexually, but emotionally, with your partner, with your purpose, and with yourself. If you do nothing else, I encourage you to commit to 2 daily habits. Start your day with the power pose. 2 minutes of standing tall, hands on your hips, chest open, breathing fully. Follow it with the 4-2-6 breathing. Inhale for 4, hold for 2, exhale for 6, just for 2 minutes. That's 4 minutes total. 4 minutes that can shape your entire day and, in time, transform your life. I've seen men in their 80s feel passion return to their relationships. I've seen quiet marriages come back to life. I've seen men who were told they were too old become more vibrant and present than they were at 40. And it all started with simple choices, done consistently. So here's my invitation to you. Don't just watch this video, live it. Try it for 1 week, just one. Give your body the chance to remember what it already knows. You might be surprised how quickly it responds when you stop fighting it and start working with it. And if this helped you even a little, let me know in the comments. Type 1 if you're ready to take this seriously. If you didn't connect with it, type 0 and tell me what you need. I'll be here, listening. Your next chapter doesn't need to be about decline. It can be about revival. And it starts right now, with you. If this message spoke to you, if even one part of it made you feel seen or hopeful, I'd be grateful if you gave this video a like. Share it with a friend, a brother, or anyone who might need to hear these words today. Your comment means more than you know. It helps guide what I create next and reminds other men that they're not alone. And if you'd like to support this work and help keep these messages going, you can find a donation link below. Every bit helps me continue sharing real, practical advice for real men like you. Thank you for being here.